In this video, we will go through the powerful automated workflow of this application when issuing and entering a work order. We can issue and enter scheduled work orders through the work screen and the issue in bulk screen for creating multiple work orders. We can also issue work orders outside of the normal schedule from the issue unplanned or work request screens. So to issue a work order, simply select an item and then select the Issue button. We'll then be able to allocate references and add tasks to the work order. We can view all of the tasks associated to that instrument and its routines, or you can select Show All to see all tasks available in the system. Doing so will not add a task to the actual routine, only to the work order itself. At this stage, we can view a standard operating procedure if it is connected to a document or URL. Select the SOP and then click the View button. You can also print a label by selecting the Print Label button, either in a standard or a small format. Selecting the Preview checkbox will pop up a preview of the worksheet on completion of the work order, and this can be saved, printed, or emailed. Now to issue the work order, simply select the Issue button. The work order will then be displayed on the work screen with the status of issued, and a unique work order number is created. This number is a combination of the type, in this case P for planned, the year, the week number, and the work order number for that week. We can now go ahead and enter the work order using the Enter button. For this work order, we could have also issued it to a remote device like a PDA, providing time-saving paperless calibration solutions. During this stage of the work order, we can record that we have updated the calibration label, and we can also enter some additional comments. From the Task tab, we can also enter the results of a task by clicking the Result button. This allows us to change the actual results of a task in a case where it failed or maybe it had not been checked. Using the generic Fault, Cause, and Fault Activity options allows us to quickly record the full details. The results will also update the KPIs in real time. From the References tab, we'll be able to select a reference from the ones available, or we can also go down to the function level. The system can be configured to prevent the use of overdue references. This can be very important for heavily regulated sites. Just like with issuing, we have the SOP available to view. We can also choose to view the safety statement or add attachments. For reference instruments, we can add the certificate so that it would always be available on the server. On the Values tab, the values that we can input are related to the input and output range. So for this example, I will put in a value of 8.17 milliamps. And as you can see, this exceeds the tolerance of 1%, or 0.16 milliamps. We can also make an after adjustment. This will bring up another table allowing us to record the after adjustment values. I will put in a value of 8.15 milliamps, which is below the MPE but is above the adjustment level. The adjustment level is the level at which it is recommended to adjust. You can see this when the field turns yellow, indicating that making adjustments is recommended. This is an optional second tolerance level that is set during the routine setup. You also have the option of recording the stock that was used and also the time taken. This can be very useful if you're tracking costs and time. Now that's been adjusted, we can select Enter. This will cause the save options to appear. We can choose to do a full save or a partial save, which would then allow you to investigate further and potentially do another calibration and enter more results. As we can see, the value that exceeded the MPE has been automatically entered, and we can now enter the cause of the deviation. From the Graph tab, we'll be able to see a graphical representation of the before and after adjustment of the calibration. From the graph, we can see that the adjustment has not been very successful, and putting this instrument back into production would not be recommended. So now that we have entered all the info we need, let's go ahead and select Save. The system has now created an automated email for the deviation that occurred. It's also moved the work order to a status of entered, and a different user will need to verify this work order to complete it. You can also reduce your workflow by selecting the completed entry checkbox on the routine setup screen. This work order will not require verification and will move to the clear deviation screen if the tolerance has been exceeded. Thank you for watching this video, and be sure to check out our other tutorials at www.compucalsolutions.com.